Hi folks, welcome back to another video. Lovely day today. Thought I'd do a video on agencies, or at least the one agency that I've contacted so far, and that was driver hire in Norwich. I thought I actually got my CV sorted out. For me personally, it was quite tricky to do my CV because I had an IT background, and of course none of that is relevant to trucking, HGV driving, anything like that. So it's quite difficult to kind of look like you could be a useful driver when you've not really had any driving experience in whatever it is you're looking to drive. So yeah, that was a bit of a challenge, but I'll go into that in another video. Maybe part of a video, we'll see. But yeah, I had my CV sorted out, and I thought what I'll do is I'll email that to one of the agencies and see what they said, basically. So yep, sent me an email, said, look, here's my CV, can you tell me what the process is and how does it all work? And so I sent my email, went to make a cup of coffee, and by the time I got back to my desk, I'd had a phone call and an email from them. Bearing in mind, what the hell's going on with the camera? That's going really weird. Thanks to stabilisation on recording it on my phone. This is my phone, and the one you've seen on the road is a GoPro, but yeah, it's going to be weird. Anyway, so yeah, they sent me an email and tried to ring me. Bearing in mind I was only gone about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. So I phoned them back and said, look, it's me, you rang me. And I had a good chat with a lady there in Norwich. My experience with them overall was pretty good, to be honest. I don't really have any major complaints. Obviously, bearing in mind I haven't worked for them yet, so this is just the initial, contact, if you like. And I asked them a few questions essentially, and they said, so how it all works is you've got two options when it comes to getting paid. One is PAYE, which is what you'd normally be on if you work for a company, and that's usually paid at whatever rate, and you accrue holiday as well, which I didn't expect, to be honest. I didn't expect to be accruing any holiday, so that was pretty good. And they said, we can't guarantee your work. It's basically 0 hours. They sort of phone you as and when they need you, really, which should be expected because agencies like that, especially with driving, because I've been on agency before with IT, and they normally set contracts, or sometimes there's a day rate, but generally you work a week or a few days as opposed to just working one day, covering sickness, for example. So so yes, he said, you've got PAYE, you accrue holiday, we ring you, and usually we'll text you or give you a call, depending on when it is. So it could either be first thing in the morning if they're really desperate for a driver, or it'll be like the night before or the day before, whatever. Excuse me. And the other option is umbrella. You guys probably heard this term before, an umbrella company. Back in the day, I was actually with an umbrella company for my IT role, and they pay a slightly higher rate than PAYE, but you don't accrue holiday. I don't know if that's an industry law thing, or whether it's just a driver hire thing. I don't know what that is. But she said that they pay a slightly higher rate for umbrella, but you don't accrue any holiday, and you can't cover any expenses. So you can't put in for expenses for, say, fuel or mileage. They also used to be able to claim for a meal allowance. You can't do that anymore. So it's just how it is. she just said that they've got a contract with a lot of people, a lot of companies. They've got quite a few drivers, which they all do. They carry drivers all the time on their books and that. And they said they generally, this is a Norwich office anyway, so obviously it'd be different where if you have to phone driver hire in your local area, it'd be different. But they tend to deal a lot with the NR postcodes. Ironically, the only company they deal with outside that postcode was a company I worked for previously. I'm not going to say who that is. And I said, I explained what the situation was with that, and they said, look, not going to work for them, I'll be honest. Didn't leave on bad terms as such, but I left pretty much the day I decided I wanted to leave. And to be honest, it's a bit far away to drive anyway. So yeah, and she basically just went through and explained the whole process. For most people, if you pass your test and you're going to drive a lorry, then you show up at the place and the time, and you drive it, you get back, you go home, you get paid. It's quite simple. But for those people who haven't done this before, like me, it's good to kind of see exactly how it works and follow somebody who's going through that process who hasn't done it before. So I keep itching my nose. I think it's got an itch. And now I'm stood behind a tractor. Yay! So yeah, that's the whole the idea of this whole channel is to show you guys what it's like to get your HGV license and all the things that come with it. So it's an interesting process. I've enjoyed every minute of it so far, apart from the pandemic. That's been a pain in the backside, but can't be helped, obviously. So but yeah, she said we had a chat, and I said, what's it like for for me, because obviously I've not passed my test yet. So because I wanted to email an agency just to kind of find out how they took people on board and what they do, and things like that. I did put on my CV that I got my driving test on the 26th of April, so obviously they could see that I hadn't actually got my class 2 yet. I've got almost everything, but I need to do my driving test. And she said, obviously, I knew she'd actually read my CV, because she said, I can see that you've got your test on the 26th of April, or at least the course starts 26th of April. She said, obviously give us you can register now. She said, that's no problem, but of course once you pass your test, you'll have to send us a copy of your new license anyway. So you're kind of registering twice, which is kind of pointless. So she said she gave me the option. I could register now if I wanted to, but I said, well, it makes sense to kind of wait, because then I'm not doubling up on the work that I've got to do to register. So that makes sense. And we were saying, because obviously I asked her, I said, how is it with you guys in getting work for somebody who's literally never worked a day in a lorry before, as a brand new pass? And she said, we do have a lot of companies that take on new passes. How are you supposed to get experience? We were talking about that. There's a lot of companies out there who strictly say, we want 1 year's experience, 2 years experience. And even she said to me, and this is how I feel as well, how are you supposed to get that experience when no one can give you a job? And that's the frustrating part. And I know that a lot of people have had that problem. When you're looking for work yourself, for full-time work or whatever, it's tricky, because they all want experience, but you can't gain that experience because nobody will give you a chance. And something by the managing director of the company, Hamilton's Driver Training, that I'm training with, I spoke to him directly, and he actually said to me, he understands the fact that you need experience to get roles like this. And he said, ask them why. When they say we need 2 years experience, ring them up, say, do you need a driver? I'd like to apply for the role, whatever. And if they say, how much experience have you got? And you say, well, I haven't got my license, but I haven't got any experience. And if they come back to you and say, we need 6 months experience, or we need a year's experience, say why. And 9 times out of 10, that'll be because of the insurance. And then say, well, why is that? And if they say because the excess is too high, my camera's going weird again. If they say the excess is too high, say, well, I'll tell you what, take 50 quid a month out of my pay packet, 100 quid, whatever, and if I have an accident, you keep that £100 or X amount. If I don't have an accident in 12 months, whatever, give that back to me. And that shows them that you're prepared to put your money where your mouth is, really. So that was a tip that I had from someone, from that managing director, Walter his name is. So thank you very much for that, Walter. If you end up watching this video, thank you. So yeah, that's something that you guys could try as well if you're having that problem. But with regards to agencies, you know, she totally understood that, and she said, you know, we do have a lot of companies that prepared to take on new passes. You have to obviously be of a certain age, and generally it helps if you're over 25, because if you're younger than 25, insurance is very expensive, I understand. So a lot of companies don't do it because it's purely just too expensive, which makes sense. You know, it's still a business at the end of the day. But yeah, she was absolutely great. She said that there's a company near me, Yarmouth Steel I think it was, who actually take on drivers and stuff like that. She said it makes sense, you know, some companies will take a chance on you, but you'll be in like a 7.5 tonner, you know. And I said to her, well, that's fine by me, you know. You work your way up, don't you? So, you know, you start off on a 7.5 ton, so I get used to, you know, the job, using your tachograph, the size of your truck, you know, things like that. And then, you know, once you've done a few days in a 7.5 tonner, maybe we'll get up to an 18 tonner or a 26 tonner. And then you go through the whole process again. Oh, it's so big. Oh, that's what she said. But yeah. So yeah, my experience with agencies so far, it's been pretty good. I may well contact a couple of other agencies, but you know, it really just depends on when you actually get registered and they start. You know, you're able to work, and it depends what kind of work they give you. You know, you can turn down the work. She said, you know, you're not obliged to take anything, and they're not going to kick you off their books or anything if you don't take any work. And obviously you can specify what sort of work you want as well. See the previous video for the types of work that is available, for an explanation of you know, the types of work you could get as a Class 2 driver. I take it from there, really. So but that's all I've got really time for. I don't think there's anything else I can share with you guys at this time. I think that's about sums it up, really, to be honest. So yeah, thank you very much for watching once again. There'll be new videos coming hopefully once a week, so make sure you subscribe for that, and if this video helps you, don't forget to like, because we like the likes, and so does YouTube. Catch you later, guys. See you later.